Day 2 at looking at the Playmates version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers original Dinozords, and we have a Mastodon. Man, we were teaching kids real good back in the 90s. So obviously, not a dinosaur, but we're going to talk about it as if it is a dinosaur because that's the whole naming scheme. So, Mastodon Dinozord, vehicle of the Black Ranger, uh, infamously the most brick of bricks of a Power Ranger toy. So yeah, here we go with like the other of the two larger scale figures. This is the other one where you'll be paying just as much as you did for the Tyrannosaurus. And what you are getting out of it is, well, basically what you see. You get this massive mammoth of a black Dinozord. You know, and in all things I can conceivable, yeah, like, it looks fine, but we have issues. Okay, so you were looking at a body that is mostly composed of black plastic and bright gray plastic, just share off from like completely off white. And then paint down the sides here and paint for this yellow, and then basically everything else is sticker. Big M for stickers right here for the rear section, though I do like that it's continuing the striping of the side. Everything on the head is all sticker, getting all the details correct, but also making this very paint light, meaning not a lot of this detail is going to really hold up well over time. So take care of it, don't let it get wet, etc., etc. Don't feed it after midnight. So yeah, I mean, it's hefty. I'll give you this. This thing is hefty. Like, I'm supporting my arms on the underside of on the bottom of the review stage, because like this would start wearing out my wrists and my forearms if I tried to hold this weight up this whole time. But yeah, it's not a bad take on the Mastodon. I mean, you are cutting out a few things. These stripes are supposed to be like matching these stripes. So a little bit of a shortcut there in the name of far more accurate stickers than the original toy had, though not more accurate. They're the same stickers as like Hasbro's take on the Megazord. It's okay. It's not bad for what it is. There are a few things that we can nitpick about it. So, for instance, there is that big gap going through the middle of it. So the Mastodon's got a big hole in them. That wasn't present on the original. And one of the things that bothers me is the head itself. Now, the head sculpt is fine. You know, you got the ridges in the right place. You know, the nose looks correct. And I'll even give it credit to this. The nose here is not really hollowed out, so it's solid on all sides. Even the original toy was not like that. However, there is no articulation on the nose anymore, meaning you cannot really position it where you want it to go. It's just sticking straight out like that. And while we're on such a topic, I'm not really big on how this sticks so far out. It doesn't fit flush enough to the body of the Mastodon to look correct, and that also means when it's a shield mode, it's not really flat enough to like get that shield aesthetic across the way the original toy did. And we can confirm that. So let us bring in the original Mastodon from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger toy line. You can see once again, the new one is quite a bit bigger, but stare at the proportions, and now you're going to see what I mean by the proportional changes. Look how far out the head sticks. It looks so weird. Like, it looks like it's constantly raising its head up. You know, like any proper mastodon, elephant, anything, those big ears should be flush to the body. The fact that they are not is a little bit awkward and really pointless, because, like, that really is just a fault of the sculpt. They could have just had those pins holding it in place be in the proper position, so it's at the proper angle. Oh, well. You have other changes, too, that are not as noticeable. Like, for instance, this is all squared off, which would be more robotic and look more like how, you know, I expect the Megazord to look, boxy. Whereas it's been smoothed out here for the sake of making the Mastodon look a little bit more natural and round. Not the choice I would have made. Not really the choice I would have made, but, you know, that's how that goes. So there's your comparison. I'll show you a few other little details I like. I do like the heavy details here in the legs. They do, for the most part, match the details on the original toy. You can see, like, sculpted in hydraulics and hinges, so it looks like a gigantic robot animal. I will give it that. And as I said, like, I really don't have any real issue with, like, the horns ahead, and this doesn't even feel hollowed out, you know. But that said, you really have no play value out of this. At least the Tyrannosaurus had the hips of the Megazord mode to mess with. At least it had little arms and a jaw that opens up and everything. This has nothing. You know, like, there's no firing missile for, like, a cold blast. There's no, like, sound effect button. Your toy really is just a big Mastodon. You know, and similar to, you know, like, I made comparisons to, like, the big vinyl dinosaur toys that, you know, they don't do anything. They just sit there and be a dinosaur. This one just kind of sits there and bees a mammoth. But even more so than the Tyrannosaurus from yesterday. Oh, also, because they need to bulk out the packaging a little bit, this is where the power sword is hidden. So the Mastodon is where you get this. Now, this, we can talk about a little bit more once we get into the final day and we start talking about the Megazord, but suffice to say, you see that little bend to it. Yeah, this is a softer plastic than I think was called for. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. But we'll talk about it more. Really, here it's just to bulk out the price point and just make it feel like you actually got what you paid for, somewhat. So, we're going to transform him to tank mode by removing the head and then flipping the handle out like so. Alright, so I'm going to have to raise this part up. And here's the part I do like. All of this is on much more secure hinges than the original. You hear that? Snappy? Snappy. You'll hear it again once we go to full Megazord mode. Alright, so yeah, I can't have the shoulder guards all the way down while the arms are extended, so it's not going to look as good as I would like it. See, like on the original? On the original, it fits a little bit more smoothly. Yeah, it doesn't do that here. So they got to be all the way up like this. Alright, let me get the T-Rex Zord out. We'll start mashing these up for the tank mode. Go ahead and open this up. I'm going to slip this on like a jacket. Just snap it into the back. Tab in there. And raise the arms forward. And that's, again, in this weird reverse advent calendar we're doing, how you get it into the tank mode. And we will have to continue at a later date because the Mastodon, for the fact that it comes with extra parts to bulk out its price point, does not come with the cannons I need to complete this phase. I can go ahead and put the Mastodon head where it's going to go, though. Okay, so I've created a weird Fusor now. And we'll have to wait until tomorrow to completely to begin filling this out and making it look a little bit more familiar. So that is day 2. That is the Mastodon. It is not really substantial as a toy on its own. This is where I said it's unfair to compare them individually, but that's how they sell them, so that's how we have to do this. But hey, join me for day 3. Maybe once we start getting some legs on this guy, maybe it'll all work out a little bit better. Maybe.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.